What would make a man so angry, so consumed with pride, that he would decide an entire nation must die? Not because of war, not because of rebellion, but because one man refused to bow. This is the chilling story of power, pride, and a decree that shook an empire. The events of Esther Chapter 3. After Queen Esther was crowned in the vast Persian Empire under King Xerxes, life in the palace seemed stable. The kingdom stretched from India to Ethiopia. Wealth flowed. Authority was unquestioned. But behind the polished marble halls of the palace in Susa, a dangerous man was rising. His name was Haman. Haman the Agagite was elevated above all the other officials. King Xerxes placed him in a position of supreme authority. Every royal official at the king's gate bowed down and paid him honor, because that was the king's command. And they did. They bowed low. All of them, except one. His name was Mordecai. Mordecai was a Jew, a man of quiet strength, a man who feared God more than he feared men. Day after day, as Haman passed through the king's gate, officials dropped to their knees. Robes touched the ground, heads lowered. But Mordecai stood. He would not bow. He would not kneel. He would not give worship to a man. The officials at the gate noticed. They questioned him daily. Why do you disobey the king's command? But Mordecai remained firm. He told them he was a Jew, and they told Haman. When Haman saw that Mordecai would not kneel or pay him honor, he was filled with rage, not irritation, not annoyance. Rage. His pride was wounded, his ego shattered. But notice this. He thought it beneath him to kill only Mordecai. That was not enough. When Haman learned of Mordecai's people, he began to look for a way to destroy all the Jews throughout the entire kingdom of Xerxes. All of them. Men, women, children, because of one man who would not bow. In the 12th year of King Xerxes, in the first month, Haman cast the pur. That is, he cast the lot to determine the day and month for this massacre. The lot fell on the 12th month, the month of Adar, almost a year away. But hatred is patient. Haman then approached King Xerxes with a carefully crafted accusation. There is a certain people, he said, scattered and dispersed among the peoples in all the provinces of your kingdom. Their customs are different. They do not obey the king's laws. It is not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. He never mentioned their name. He never mentioned Mordecai. He spoke in half-truths and manipulation. If it pleases the king, he continued, let a decree be issued to destroy them, and I will put 10,000 talents of silver into the royal treasury. He offered money. He offered loyalty. He offered a solution to a problem the king didn't even know existed. King Xerxes removed his signet ring from his finger and gave it to Haman. With that simple gesture, power changed hands. Keep the money, the king said. Do with the people as you please. Just like that, a decision, a ring, a decree. Royal scribes were summoned on the 13th day of the first month. They wrote out the orders to every province in its own script and language. The decree was sealed with the king's ring. It commanded the destruction, killing, and annihilation of all Jews, young and old, women and children, on a single day. The 13th day of the 12th month, their property would be plundered, their lives erased. The couriers rode out swiftly on the king's command. The law was issued in the citadel of Susa. And then, something almost unbelievable happened. The king and Haman sat down to drink. While an entire people were unknowingly marked for death, they drank. But the city of Susa was bewildered. Confused whispers filled the streets. What had these people done? Why such severity? Why such hatred? A storm had been unleashed, and most of its victims did not even know it yet. This is how evil often works. Quietly, strategically, under the cover of authority. One man's pride, one man's refusal to bow, one man's hatred, and an entire nation stood on the brink of extinction. But what Haman did not know, what he could not see, was that God was already positioning people in places of influence. The decree had been written, the date had been set, the empire had spoken. But the story was far from over. Because when pride writes a death sentence, God prepares a deliverer. And in the shadows of this dark decree, a queen was about to face the greatest decision of her life. Will she remain silent, or will she risk everything? That is where the tension rises. That is where destiny begins.